Good afternoon, folks. Welcome along. I've just parked the car up in Shipley Bridge car park for the Avon Dam Reservoir, and I'm just making my way up alongside the Avon right now, heading up to get onto a tramway which is going to take me to Red Lake. It's recommended to me by a colleague at work. Thank you, Ben. So I'm going to go up there tonight, have a nice little camp out, see what it's like, scout it out, maybe take the kids up there some other time. Should be interesting. So come along, join me. I'll pop a little animation of the route now so you can see where I'm going. Well, it's a fairly steep old climb up that first bit, and it is humid today. This ain't gonna be pretty. Really peaceful on the moors today. It's very quiet. There's not a lot of wind, if any. I've put my bug spray on, so hopefully it's going to keep all these midges from actually doing anything except for flying around my head. I'm probably just a little over halfway there now, hence the stop for a snack. But it's just really quiet, really pleasant today. Nice to just get away for a bit. It's been a little bit hectic at work at the moment. They're laying off some of our workforce, including my area, my department as it were. So everything's just a little bit up in the air at the moment, but it's nice to be able to get out here to the moors where it's quiet and calm. There's no civilization. I've already clocked a couple of miles away from the nearest towns and houses, so we're really in the middle of nowhere now. So just what the doctor ordered. Well, folks, I've made it to the highest point on the trek today, and I've got quite a good view up here. Don't know whether you can see behind me down there. There's some water. That's Plymouth down there. That's where I've come from, over that way. And if I swing you around this way, that's where we're going to. That is the slag heap right next to Red Lake. So it's all downhill from here, and only about another 15-20 minutes and I'll be there. But these views are amazing. You can see right out. That's back towards sort of Ivy Bridge and South Brent down that way. Beautiful. Wondering whether there might be a camping ledge up on the side of on top of the side of the slag pile there. Should be ideal. But to be honest, anywhere down here would be great too. Yeah, this'll do. This'll do nicely. Well, I made it to the top of the slag heap, And it turns out Red Lake is the shape of a heart. So gonna have to bring the missus here. Extra brownie points. That's more kind of the shape of something else. Right folks, so I've decided that we are going to spend the night just up on the ledge up there. It's out of the way of the bugs. There's sandflies and things floating around the edge of the lake here, so I don't really want to be tangling with them after the midges last week. Right, so this is the spot. I think it's not completely out of the wind, but it's out of most of the wind. Right folks, so that's camp set up. Cooking wise tonight, it's going to be a case of cooking on the meth stove, the penny stove that I made. I'll put a link up there or there, one of them. I'll put a link up there in case you haven't seen that video, how to make one. Very simple to make. This is going to be its real first outdoors test. Luckily everything I've brought with me pretty much can be eaten raw, so if everything goes terribly wrong, it's okay. Got a saucepan to be cooking in tonight, wooden spoon, cutlery set you've seen before, bottle of meths. Put it in a plastic bag so I wasn't sure whether it was going to be good enough to hold the meths, because it's only a cheap bottle, but it looks like it's doing fine, so ideal. So that's the cook setup for tonight, with the windshield round it in a minute. Food wise, we are having chili bratwursts. Just going to cut these up into chunks. First off though is going to be tiny little onion. It's going to go in first, chopped up. Going to fry the onions off in some oil. And then I've got lardons to go in with them, fry them down a little bit, then goes the chopped up bratwurst. Then I've got some sun-dried tomato pesto to go in there, and an entire bowl of mozzarella is going to go in there as well. Basically I'm on a keto diet, so I can't really have any carbs, or I have to keep them to a minimum, so hence why the meal seems a little bit odd, but it's lush and very filling. I've also got salt and pepper in here, and a scrubber to clean up the pans later. That's it. Better get cooking. Right guys, those of you who have seen my penny stove video will know that this little sucker is mighty powerful, but it needs priming. It will not self-ignite like a Trangier burner. So the way around that I've figured out is got the lid of a bean can cut off sideways so that we end up with a nice lip, and then just squirt some high alcohol content anti-bac hand gel. This stuff's aloe vera stuff, so it leaves a weird little green mark around it, but whatever. Squirt this around, and then place that down in the bottom, put the filled meth burner on top, light the hand sanitizer up, It primes the stove and lights the stove for you, so you don't really need to do anything. You just hit it with a match, get it lit, and that's that. Simple as. Right, because the mess cooker will be fairly quick and swift, I won't be mucking around much. Put the chopped up onions and the lardons and some oil into the pan ready to roll. So we'll sweat the onions and reduce down the lardons all at the same time, and then we'll chuck the sausages in once everything's up and running and nice and hot. Well, there we go. Let's get stuck in while it's still hot. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do nicely. This is pretty good, and it's a spicy sausage as well. I'm going to eat this and I'll go back with you later. That's the view I'm looking at. It's absolutely stunning. Had some cows came down and splashed around in the lake for a minute, but otherwise it's quiet as a mouse. Just going to relax for a few minutes, let my food go down, and then I'll take the pan down, pick up some lake water and give it a bit of a scrub out. I won't put the wash water back in the lake. I'll pour that up on the ground so it will filter back down through. It's a bio-safe soap anyway, but I don't want it going straight into the water, especially if I'm going to be drinking out of it. I didn't bring my chair today, mainly because I was trying to keep everything as light as possible for this trip. I thought it would be nice to do a sort of really lightweight trip. Really wish I'd brought my Smeggin chair. It's doing my back in, sitting cross-legged on the floor like this, like being an assembly at school. The sun's trying to break through. I think we might get a sunset. If that's the case, I'll run back up the hill and film it from up there. Definitely some fish down there. When I went down to wash my pans, there's definitely, you hear a splash, you turn around, there's a ripple coming from somewhere near the middle of the lake. Nothing to be seen. So there's definitely some fish in there, and the only way there could be fish in here is if someone's brought fish, because this is a man-made lake. There's no rivers running into this. Look at that. Just look at that. That's alright. That's too bright. That's too bright. There, somewhere in the middle there. Look at that. Looks absolutely beautiful just at the end of the day. That sky. Right, it's 9:30. The temperature is plummeting. The tent is calling. I'll see you in there. Alright folks, back in the tent. It looks like I've got an ear. Oh, it's guy ropes hanging down. Sorry for the light, but it's got dark and I can't be bothered to get a torch out right now because every insect in the vicinity will come running for me. So instead I am just chilling out, about to climb in the sleeping bag and get some sleep. I will see you in the morning. Morning all. It's 20 past 7. Time to get up, get some coffee on. Although I am very comfortable right now. Trying to convince myself. Slept well. Got too cold to start with, then I was too hot, then too cold. So I had to faff around a little bit in the night, but most of the night was spent asleep. Let's have a look outside the tent and see what it looks like. It appears that a fog has descended. Huh. Or a mist. Barely even see the lake. Right, definitely need to get the coffee on then. Since I took the first video about 10 minutes ago, it feels like it's lifted already. Doesn't seem to be quite so misty. And we've got some moos. Cows have come to join me this morning. Right, there's not much battery left on the phone for filming, so I need to crack on. I want a cup of coffee. I need to wait for the tent to kind of dry off a little bit. I'm just going to zip it up and shake it to get the dew to fall off of it. And once I've done that, just going to let it sit there and hopefully dry a little bit. Meanwhile, I'm going to get on some coffee. We are there. Oh, measured it perfectly. I'm just checking the routes at the moment on the map to see how to go back via the reservoir, the Avon reservoir, which I didn't walk up past this time, but the paths are a little bit more clearly defined over there, so given the misty conditions I might give that a try on the way home. Right, campsite is all clear. First port of call, just back down to the lake to fill up my water bottle, and then we shall get moving. Right, I'm all refueled. Time to say goodbye to the lake. It's a good spot. It's definitely a good spot. I'd be interested to know what it would be like in the wind. It's quiet, it's peaceful, it's remote. These are all great things it's got going for it. There's definitely some shelter from the winds in different spots. You might have to get a little bit more, you might have to improvise a bit harder if the winds are coming from the west and the east. But I'm sure there's spots all around where you can find somewhere to keep yourself sheltered. But all in all, it's a great place to camp. Would definitely recommend. 4 out of 5 stars maybe? Yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. Midges. Bloody midges. I think I've managed to keep them off me this time, but they are out in force and all around. That's what the birds are living off, I imagine. So yeah, really nice place to camp. And to be honest, the great thing is that you march up here all the way up elevation wise. You go up over 200 meters to get here, and it's about 3.5 to 4 miles. But on the way back down, it's all downhill, and particularly like I'm about to do, follow the Avon down past the reservoir, it'll be smoothly down as well, nothing too steep. So fingers crossed, I'll get back with you once I get closer to the dam. Right, well there's the Avon. There's a little stony bridge down there I'm headed for. Now this is a Dartmoor bridge, if ever I saw one. Multi-ton slabs of granite, just laid over the river. This ain't going anywhere. Found it. Well, I found one end of it anyway. It's quite a long snaking reservoir, this one. So the trail just leads up and over the edge of this hill here, and then I should be well and truly looking down over it. That'll be a nice view. I'll show you when I get there. There's the dam. Nearly there now. I don't know if I can walk out on the actual dam. If I can, I'm so going to. More cheese, Gromit. Aye. More cheese. Well, made it to the front of the dam. Unfortunately, it's all chained up and you can't walk on the top of it. So, no fun. But it's quite a cool dam. Imagine during heavy rains when its water's cascading down the weir, be even better. But yeah, no, it's not bad at all. Wouldn't be surprised if you could find yourself somewhere to camp in amongst these trees as well on the banks. Right folks, I've made it back at the car park. Going to get some water, top up the drinks bottle, hit the road. Got places to be, things to do. Really enjoyed this trip. Very calm, very quiet, very relaxed. Plus I found about 3 more campsites in the process, so definitely be coming back up here again. And not too long from now. In fact, just to bring the kids for a day just by the banks of the river there. It's beautiful. So anyway, really good. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe if you want to see more. I do lots of this sort of stuff and stuff with the family as well. Comment down below if you want to mention anything, think I should do something, want to suggest somewhere I should go, that kind of thing. Just let me know. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time.